Hello guys, today I'm starting a new series of tutorials on computer networks for cybersecurity. As you might already know, 50% of cybersecurity takes place on network. So before entering into cybersecurity to make it your dream career, you need to have a solid understanding of computer networks. Before we begin, I would like to emphasize that all the topics that I'll cover here are mostly meant for creating an understanding. The syllabus does not pertain to any exam. So if you're preparing for any exam, make sure you refer to the syllabus first. But whatever topics I'll cover will have a close resemblance to CompTIA Network Plus exam syllabus because that is what I'll be using as a reference here. Welcome to Lecture 1 of Computer Networks for Cybersecurity. To begin with, let's first understand what a network is. Today, all of us are very tightly connected to each other. The instant you post a picture on Facebook, you start getting likes and comments from your peers and connections. We can video call a person that is residing in a different city, state, or even a country. This interconnection between things or people is known as a network. So then, what is a computer network? A computer network is nothing but an interconnection between multiple computers that are capable of sharing resources, data, applications, etc. You might have seen a computer network on your college campus where all the computers might share the same printer. Another example would be the multiple devices connected to the internet. Now that you understand what is a network, let's move on and study some common terminologies that you need to know. Workstations. Workstations are powerful computers that provide access to their resources whenever needed. Seeing this ability to make resources available for users on the network, some might argue that workstations are similar to servers. But we'll talk about the difference between them in just a minute. Workstations are sometimes also known as host, client, and node. Server. Servers are powerful computers that provide specialized services over the network. They are named so because they truly are at the service of the network. Servers run a special software known as network operating system to control the network. Generally, in a good design, servers typically handle one labor intensive job so as to improve the network performance. This does not imply that a single server cannot do multiple jobs, but it's just that we'll get better performance if we assign it to handle one job. A few examples of common dedicated servers are file server, mail server, web server, application server, proxy server, etc. Servers maintain the network's data integrity by backing up the network software and providing redundant hardware for fault tolerance. This could be easily understood by an example. For example, you have one hard disk on your system. In a situation when your disk faces a failure, you find yourself lost. Now you do not have any options to get your precious data back, or maybe it'll take a whole lot of time before you actually did. In this case, we say that a disk had zero fault tolerance. But if you had two drives, where if one fails, you can easily switch over to the other. In this way, we wouldn't lose our data and functionality. In fact, we now have time to recover our failed drive. This is what fault tolerance is. Do not worry if you do not understand what fault tolerance is. We'll be talking about fault tolerance in much more details in the upcoming lectures. Generally, you might have seen that a network contains many workstations but very few servers. Why do you think this might be? This is because servers can handle or service a huge amount of individual users simultaneously, in contrary to the workstations that cannot do this. So now you know why workstations are different from servers. Because workstations can't handle the same amount of workload as the servers. Moving on, now let's talk about host. A host can be defined as any device on the network that has an IP address attached to it. They can be all networking devices like routers, switches, hubs, etc. In fact, workstations and servers can also be called hosts. I hope now you have a clear understanding of what workstations, servers, and hosts are. To quickly summarize, workstation is a computer on the network whose resources are available to access whenever needed. Servers are powerful computers that provide specified services to other users on the network. And host is any device that has an IP address on the network. If you have any doubts, feel free to ask in the comment section. Do not forget to like and subscribe my channel if you like the tutorial. Thank you.